They never suspected her. On a station orbiting the neutral world of Caravax, where species from every quadrant came to learn, trade, and gossip, she was just another quiet student. A small thing with dark eyes, dark hair, and a voice seldom used. She went by Alara, though everyone knew that wasn't her real name. No one asked. She rarely spoke unless called on, and even then, she answered with a kind of calm restraint that unnerved most of the species around her. Still, the staff considered her respectful, disciplined, and no trouble at all. She didn't joke like the Octori, who cackled in 10 pitches when a professor tried to explain thermonuclear mechanics. She didn't flirt like the Tellurians, whose courtship was apparently indistinguishable from interstellar economics. And she didn't debate endlessly like the Varn, those feathered philosophers whose beaks could out-argue the speed of light. No, Alara just sat, breathed, listened, and then the invasion alarm sounded. It wasn't a drill. There was no warning. One moment, they were discussing orbital stress loads on warframe architecture, and the next, sirens howled like ghosts to the titanium halls of Station Viral 7. Lights turned red. Voice alerts barked in 400 languages. Outside the viewing windows, dozens of alien ships blinked into existence, dark, angular, and wrong. No insignia, no signal, no communication. Just war. Professor Colleen dropped his datapad. A few students screamed. Others bolted for the exits, wings flapping, claws scratching, tentacles writhing in blind panic. Some froze. A few activated personal shields. The Varn pulled out data wands, tried to reason with an enemy that had never declared itself. Alara? She blinked once, and then she stood. Slowly, there was a sound, a low metallic groan, and every head turned. Her desk, a reinforced carbon alloy unit designed to withstand pressure fluctuations and kinetic strain, split in half beneath her hands. Not with effort, not with rage. She simply stood and leaned forward, and the desk obeyed like a thing that knew it had failed a test. Silence fell in the classroom, even through the alarms. The Varn next to her gawked. "What are you?" She didn't answer. Her eyes, previously dim with thought, now burned with something ancient. Not fire. Something colder. Calculated. Terrifying in its serenity. "Alara?" The professor asked, backing away. She looked at him, almost with pity. "Stay here. Lock the doors." "They're breaking through the hangar decks." One student stammered. "I know," she replied, stepping over the ruined desk. Her boots were silent. Her breathing slower now, rhythmic like a countdown. The doors slid open without her touching them. Beyond, chaos reigned. Station guard were already dead or dying. Smoke seeped through the vents. From the upper levels, screams echoed, cut off by static and something sharper. The invaders had arrived. In full. They weren't a known species. No registry match. No diplomatic precedent. Just black armor, segmented limbs, and a kind of hunger that came from a void between galaxies. Some said they were extragalactic. Others believed they were born in the forgotten dark zones, remnants of a war no one remembered. They were massive, 8 feet tall, plated, growling in frequencies that made the screens crackle. And she walked straight toward them. No weapons, no shield. "Alara," someone called. "What are you doing?" She didn't reply. The first invader saw her, raised a kinetic launcher, fired. The blast hit her squarely in the chest. She stumbled back half a step, exhaled, and kept walking. Her uniform smoldered. Her skin, however, did not. The invader tried again. She blurred forward. Not fast, not teleportation, just decisive. Her hand wrapped around the alien's throat. She squeezed. The plating groaned, then caved. The alien dropped, lifeless. Another raised its weapon. Too late. She was already moving. Her elbow shattered its skull. Her foot drove another into a wall hard enough to crater it. From the classroom window, they watched. Students stared in silence as their quiet classmate moved like gravity itself had been around her. With every movement, another invader fell. She didn't roar or scream, or even grunt. She was silent, cold and exact. Death with skin. When a blast door sealed shut between her and the enemy, She simply punched through it. No suit, no augmentation, no mercy. She's human, someone whispered. No, said the Varn philosopher, feathers standing on end. She's Deathworlder. News traveled fast across the station. Survivors in the lower decks saw her walk through plasma fire. A young Varelian technician watched her catch an invader's arm mid-strike and rip it from the socket like peeling fruit. One of the station's automated turrets, confused by her lack of ID, targeted her. She dodged the beam and hurled a corpse into the turret, collapsing it. "Who is she?" an emergency tech asked as the power failed in Section D. No one answered. In the command deck, Admiral Nurek, a veteran of 3 war fronts, watched grainy security feeds showing the girl dismantle a squadron. His voice cracked. "Why wasn't I informed there was a Terran aboard?" "She's a student, sir." "No," the Admiral whispered. "She's a weapon." By hour 2, half the invaders were dead. By hour 3, she had reached the reactor core, where the alien ship's tether had anchored itself. Explosives surrounded it. Their plan was clear: destroy the station from its heart. She walked into the reactor bay with no backup, just blood-slick boots and a stare that made the invader commander pause. It was the only mistake he made. She didn't wait for a monologue. She sprinted, slid under his blade arm, drove both fists into his chest, and tore him open before his second heartbeat. Then she deactivated the explosives manually. The codes were alien, the wiring unknown. But she understood. Somehow, impossibly she understood. Later, when the fires were put out, the hull breaches sealed, and the station survivors began counting the dead, they realized something terrifying. There should have been no survivors. If she hadn't been there, they all would have died. The next day, as repair crews moved through the wreckage, someone found her back in the classroom, sitting, quietly, at a new desk. Her eyes were closed. Her uniform reissued. She said nothing. The professor, still shaking, approached her. "You saved all of us." She nodded once. "Why didn't you tell anyone?" Her eyes opened slowly. "You wouldn't have believed me." "Who trained you?" She looked at the stars beyond the viewing port. "Earth did." The Varn philosopher approached. "You didn't kill them out of hate." "No." "Then why?" "Because they were wrong." He tilted his head. "About what?" She turned her gaze to him and replied without warmth. "They thought a classroom was a safe place." He stepped back. Later, the Galactic Assembly sent a fleet to investigate. Alara was gone by then. No trace. No DNA. Nothing. But the video footage remained. And from that day on, every academy, every command center, every species across the stars updated their protocols with one terrifying new rule. If there's a Terran in your class, never assume they're harmless, because sometimes the one who sits quietly is just waiting for the alarm.